inside SpaceX's insane new $3.2 billion space factory. Remember all those sci-fi movies where entire industries were set up in space with workers laboring in zero gravity? Well, those sci-fi fantasies are about to become reality very soon. When we say Elon Musk is an industry disruptor, we realize we're starting to sound like a broken record. But there's not much we can do when he continues to do this seemingly impossible, revolutionizing the space industry on his own. Today, we're going to talk about SpaceX's mind-blowing new space factory. Something this astonishing makes us all wonder why a factory is being built in space in the first place, and what will it manufacture? Well, stick around as we dive deeper into Elon Musk's plans to transform manufacturing technologies. So let's begin the video. SpaceX and Varda Space have announced a partnership to launch the first space factory. Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX, has big ambitions for the future, which include the industrialization of space. Varda Space's initiative may seem far-fetched. After all, there's plenty of space on Earth to build factories, but the notion could be useful to enterprises on the ground. Those in support claim that moving companies to space will reduce pollution on Earth and make use of the advantages of manufacturing in a microgravity environment. Varda Space Industries, a research business with plans to build a space factory, evolved at a breakneck pace in a short period. It began with only $9 million in seed capital in December 2020. Few saw how the corporation would achieve its goal of establishing space factories for Earthbound items, even though the space sector employs millions every day. 8 months later, the company obtained $42 million in finance and began setting up shop and forming partnerships with leading space corporations to realize its ambition. How will it work? Varda Space has to recruit partners to assist in the journey to low Earth orbit to make it to space. That's where SpaceX enters the picture. SpaceX allows companies that wish to send objects into space to do so by using one of its scheduled launches. In essence, the two corporations are traveling to space together. They're free to go their separate ways after they reach their destination, almost like a form of space carpooling, though a little different from your typical downtown commute. Varda Space has announced that it plans to launch its factory on a Falcon 9 rocket owned by SpaceX in the first quarter of 2023. The supplies needed to get the factory into low Earth orbit will be carried by SpaceX's new rockets. The first space factory will be installed on numerous Photon spacecraft provided by Rocket Lab. It's expected to be operational in less than 18 months. The key to success is putting working hardware in orbit quickly, Brewy said. Varda Space went on to say that they're not only developing an orbiting lab, but also the first commercial zero-gravity industrial park on a large scale. Varda Space and its space factory, unlike other spacecraft specializing in communication or imaging, don't require a specific orbit for their mission. The facility just has to be able to stay in low Earth orbit to function. While the terms of the arrangement have not yet been realized, it's understood that the craft will spend approximately 3 months in orbit testing these new manufacturing methods. Lessons learned from this initial flight will be applied to future flights. By the end of 2024, Varda Space intends to be able to launch a second or possibly third mission. SpaceX was chosen by company management because it provided the most cost-effective and reliable alternative for delivering their spacecraft into orbit. Launch costs is a core driver of our economics, said Dylan Asperhoff, co-founder and president of Varda Space in an interview. We want to stick to the lowest cost available solution. Before deciding on SpaceX, the firm did not have to look far. We have some familiarity with SpaceX as a launch provider, said Will Brewy, co-founder and chief executive of Varda Space. Asperhoff is a principal at Founders Fund, which is invested in both Varda Space and SpaceX. Brewy worked at SpaceX for over 6 years. Rocket Lab's Electron rockets were considered as a launch alternative. Notably, the company decided not to launch the spacecraft on a Rocket Lab Electron, even though it purchased 3 Photon satellite buses from Rocket Lab in August. There was favorable economics for Photon and Electron, Asperhoff said, but he was concerned about being too reliant on a single company. If you concentrate risk around one vendor, it can be hard to recover. He added that Varda Space hasn't ruled out launching an Electron in the future and also hadn't decided on launches after this initial mission. The playing field is changing so rapidly, he said. There's a world where we don't necessarily launch with SpaceX on our second and later missions. Varda Space did not want to put all of its eggs in one basket because the New Zealand company's already in charge of developing the spaceship that'll transport its supplies, as well as the re-entry capsule for their return to Earth. Because re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere occurs at Mach 25 and the materials must not break during the landing, this capsule is critical. In truth, the most difficult part of the process, from design to recuperation, is the re-entry into the atmosphere. Indeed, Mach 25, or 1,224 kilometers per hour, is equivalent to 25 times the speed of sound. Remember those science fiction films in which a capsule returns to Earth? Imagine transferring delicate products in this unpredictable environment while also dealing with a slew of external influences. This will surely be one of the mission's most crucial moments. There are other challenges as well. Both processes and equipment will be subjected to a lot of radiation and will have to endure solar flares. Hence, Varda will need to develop products that not only have high resale value, but are also easy to transport without contaminating them for the mission to be viable. However, because the dates for a second or third mission are still a long way off, there is still time for new ideas to emerge. For example, the European Union is working on the Period project, which aspires to construct an orbital factory. In collaboration with Airbus, it'll focus on the assembly and fabrication of satellites directly from space. In any case, these ambitious projects offer a peek at some of the new opportunities available to manufacturers and entrepreneurs across the board. In the beginning, Varda Space will connect at least 3 Photon ships. Different configurations of the spaceship are possible. Varda, unlike the ISS, will modify them for autonomous production in space without the need for human intervention. Re-entry capsules will be installed on the vessel, which will return the manufacturing items to Earth once production is completed. Varda's initial plant will only be able to create a few hundred kilos of material, leaving many wondering what products the company will produce to stay profitable. So, are you guys enjoying the video? What products do you think will be researched and manufactured in this amazing space factory? There are many answers to this question. So while you think, do subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to receive instant notification about all our future videos. According to the corporation, they would concentrate on high-value products that sell for high prices despite their modest mass. Chemical purity elements, perfect crystalline structures, semiconductors, fiber optic cables, bioprinted organs, and pharmaceutical substances are just a few of the things that can be created more effectively in space, or whose purity levels improve drastically. We are one step closer to delivering valuable materials to our clients here on Earth, Brewy said. The corporation claims that the things it'll create will improve people's quality of life on Earth and speed up humanity's progress into space. Varda's ultimate goal is to employ microgravity to create novel materials or to advance the International Space Station's study on specific items. If we told you about Varda 5 years ago, you'd probably think we were crazy. However, thanks to advancements in technology, this dream has turned into a reality. Because of cheaper prices, improved regulations, and commoditized space hardware solutions, this facility is a technological marvel. Every time we think Elon has run out of inventive ideas, he comes up with another that takes our breath away. So, do you think this giant space factory is a one-off, or will it set off a snowball effect with every major company setting up their space factories in the future? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to watch more of our amazing videos, then stay tuned.